The Johnston Building is located in downtown Charlotte, North Carolina. This building was completed in 1924. It was the tallest building in Charlotte until 1926. It was originally 15 stories tall and had 125,000 square feet. It's a neoclassical steel-framed constructed building with an exterior of limestone and masonry. In 1929, 2 additional floors were added to the top of the building, bringing the total size to 172,382 square feet interior. It stands approximately 265 feet tall. It is one of the oldest buildings in North Carolina and the oldest building in downtown Charlotte. Originally, the lot was purchased for $100 in 1923. It cost $600,000 in 1925 to build. It was named from Charles Worth Johnston, who was the major investor in the project. In 1991, the building was appraised for $17.2 million. $2 million of that was for the lot. In 2015, it was sold for $25.3 million. The scope of work of repair for this building mostly includes the demolition and rebuilding of the parapet wall. The parapet on all 4 sides was found to be structurally unstable. It is essentially walking off of the building in areas which presents an incredible hazard for pedestrians below. The entire structure of the parapet needs to be completely demolished and rebuilt. We also need to replace several steel window lintels that are corroded with structural section loss. Several areas of unstable brick veneer are to be pinned back in place. And then there are some maintenance repairs to include replacement of all sealant joints, patching areas of the limestone sills and trim, repainting the decorative metal spandrel panels, various tuck pointing, cleaning and installing a water repellent to the exterior. The existing construction of the parapet walls is assumed to be a 10-inch thick terracotta block with a masonry veneer. The replacement walls will include reinforced and fully grouted cement block with masonry veneer with a through-wall drainage component. As soon as we began to demolish the parapet wall on the first section of the roof and expose the original I-beam, we discovered that the I-beam was in pristine condition. We also discovered that the parapet was indeed structurally secure to the top of the building. The structural engineer determined that the first section was a bit of a surprise. He instructed us to open up several areas as test openings on the rest of the first elevation of the building. As you can see, we figured out that the I-beam was intact, but that some areas of the lintels were corroded to the point of causing rust jacking. And what appeared to be a structural failure of the entire parapet wall was actually rust jacking from corroded lintels that was pushing the masonry veneer of the wall out. This project then changed from a complete replacement of the parapet wall for a new structural application to replacing lintels. The first thing we had to do was replace the section of the parapet wall that we did demolish. As you can see here, we went to the original plan, connected the new parapet to the structure of the building, fully grouted in the cells, and completed the parapet. From there, we went along the building, exposing different areas of visually corroded lintels to check the section loss. The structural engineer on the project selected the lintels in need of replacement according to the percentage of section loss being experienced on each of these lintels. What we did was we would take out part of the wall above the existing lintel and put in a temporary jack, a screw jack. Once those were in place, we removed the rest of the masonry. After that, we welded in temporary supports above the existing lintel to support the brick above. Once those were in place, we were able to remove the screw jacks and replace the lintels with brand new angle lintels. Once those were installed, we installed some through-wall flashing. We were then able to put our screw jacks back in place. we were able to cut the temporary welded brackets out, reinstall the masonry on either side of the jacks, allow it to cure, remove the jacks, and infill the masonry. You can see here some sections of wall where the lintels have been replaced, the masonry has been installed, and it is finished. We then went along the entire top of the wall where the rust jacking had pushed it out following the parapet wall line and replaced all of the masonry to put it in line with the masonry below. This process was repeated down the face of the building, any place where a badly corroded lintel was discovered. We ended up replacing 31 lintels on both elevations of the building. On these marked up schematics, you can see that the red windows were lintels that were replaced. The yellow dots were test openings so that we can determine the degree of section loss for each of the lintels. In the end, the owner was able to swap out the money reserved for replacing the parapet wall for the lintels that got replaced. And this 100-year-old building has gotten a brand new lease on life. The tight quarters and working in uptown Charlotte were negotiated through very small mast climbers with overhead protection protecting the pedestrians below. This project was completed in 6 months' time, on budget, without any reports of problems. We're grateful to the building owner, the building engineer, and the adjacent property managers for their support in getting this project done on this historic building. Thanks for watching.